Tesla did not break. Tesla did not fail. What we're seeing right now is a short-term reset inside a much bigger long-term growth story. And in this video, I'm going to show you why this drop happened, what actually changed, what did not change, and how long-term Tesla investors should be thinking about this moment. If you're holding Tesla stock or considering adding, this perspective matters. Hi, this is Ken. Let's talk about Tesla's recent price action. Tesla closed down roughly 4% and continued drifting lower into the morning, barely holding the $400 level. On the surface, it feels uncomfortable. Red candles always feel worse than they actually are, but price movement alone never tells the full story. What matters is the structure behind the move. So instead of reacting emotionally, let's slow this down and look at what actually happened. I want to start with the core conclusion. This drop did not happen because Tesla's business is collapsing. It did not happen because Tesla's long-term strategy is broken. It happened because short-term negative headlines collided with an already fragile valuation and a weak broader market. Three forces stacked on top of each other. That's it. Nothing more dramatic than that. Once you understand this, the entire move starts to make a lot more sense. Let's walk through those three forces. First, Europe sales headlines. Second, Tesla's extremely high valuation. Third, the overall market environment. Each one alone would not have caused this size of move. Together, they did. Starting with Europe. The market reacted strongly to reports showing sharp year-over-year declines in Tesla's January sales in the UK, along with weakness in several other European countries. Some headlines showed numbers down 50% or more. When people see those numbers, the immediate conclusion becomes Tesla demand is collapsing in Europe. But this is where context matters. When you zoom out, overall EV sales in many of these countries are only slightly down. Not collapsing, not imploding, slightly down. That tells us something important. This is not an EV demand death spiral. It's much more likely a Tesla-specific timing issue. Model refresh cycles, incentive changes, inventory transitions, and temporary competition effects. Markets, however, do not wait for nuance. They trade stories. And the story that spread quickly was Tesla is losing Europe, China is taking share, growth is slowing. Once that narrative starts spreading, selling accelerates. Not because the business suddenly changed, but because perception changed. This leads directly into the second force, valuation. Tesla is priced like a future-defining company, not a normal automaker, not even a high-growth tech company, but a company that could reshape transportation, robotics, and AI. That kind of expectation is powerful, but it also makes the stock fragile. When expectations are extremely high, even small disappointments feel large. Think of Tesla's stock like a glass sculpture, beautiful, valuable, but sensitive. A small tap creates a visible crack. That's what happened here. A modest negative data point hit a stock that was already priced for perfection, and once the first crack appears, mechanical selling begins. Short-term traders step aside, profit takers lock gains, algorithms trigger sell programs. Selling creates more selling, not because of fundamentals, but because of positioning. This is how fast drawdowns happen in high expectation stocks. Now let's connect this to the third force, the broader market. Tesla didn't sell off in isolation. Large cap tech stocks were already soft. Risk appetite was fading. In that type of environment, the weakest headline becomes the first target. Tesla just happened to be the stock with fresh negative news. If the market had been in a strong uptrend, this same headline might have caused a 1% dip. Instead, it became 4%. Here's the key transition. None of this explains a broken company. It explains a crowded trade unwinding. And that distinction is everything. If you're ready, in the second half, we'll zoom out and talk about what did not change, why Tesla is increasingly an AI and robotics company, and how long-term investors should frame this moment. So now let's step back even further, because the most important question is not what happened to Tesla's stock this week. The most important question is, did Tesla's long-term trajectory change? And the honest answer is no, not even slightly. Sales numbers move, they rise, they fall, they fluctuate with product cycles, incentives, and regional conditions. But Tesla's long-term value is not anchored to monthly delivery data. It is anchored to whether Tesla can solve autonomy, scale robotaxi, and mass-produce humanoid robots. Those are the pillars. Everything else is secondary. Ask yourself this: did full self-driving stop improving? No. Did Tesla cancel its robotaxi platform? No. Did Optimus disappear from the roadmap? No. Tesla continues to train larger neural networks. Tesla continues to collect real-world driving data at unmatched scale. Tesla continues to build custom AI hardware. All of that work happens quietly in the background, regardless of short-term stock moves. That's the part most investors underestimate. Here's the deeper shift that many people still miss. Tesla is gradually transforming from a company that sells products into a company that sells intelligence, software, autonomy, labor. Once autonomy works at scale, vehicles become revenue-generating assets. Once humanoid robots work at scale, physical labor becomes programmable. Those markets are not measured in billions, they are measured in tens of trillions. That's the long-term bet. Short-term delivery softness does not invalidate that bet. In fact, volatility is often the price you pay to own companies attempting something this ambitious. If Tesla were a stable, predictable, low-growth business, the stock would not move like this. It would also not have the upside potential that attracts long-term investors. Volatility and opportunity are two sides of the same coin. Now, I want to add an important layer of realism. Some people are calling this a perfect buying opportunity. Others are choosing to wait. Both approaches can be rational. We are also seeing weakness in crypto markets. Bitcoin slipping below major psychological levels. Historically, risk assets tend to move together during periods of uncertainty, so it is reasonable to expect continued volatility in tech stocks, including Tesla. This does not mean panic, it means patience. Long-term investing is not about predicting the next week, it's about positioning for where the world is going. And the world is clearly moving toward autonomous systems, AI-driven robotics, software-defined transportation. Tesla sits directly at the center of that convergence. Few companies on earth do. So when I look at this drop, I don't see a broken story. I see a reminder that markets overshoot, a reminder that emotions create opportunity, a reminder that long-term wealth is built by people who can hold conviction when things feel uncomfortable. Here's the mindset I personally focus on. Not where will Tesla trade tomorrow, but will Tesla be a dominant autonomy and robotics platform 5 to 10 years from now? If your answer to that question is yes, then short-term volatility becomes background noise, not a signal to abandon the thesis. So I'll leave you with this. Your strategy matters more than today's price. Are you accumulating slowly? Are you waiting for deeper confirmation? Are you simply holding your long-term position? There is no single correct answer. There is only alignment between your risk tolerance and your conviction. Let me know in the comments what your approach is. If you found this analysis helpful, please hit the like button. I share Tesla-focused analysis like this every day. If you want to stay ahead of the bigger picture, consider subscribing. Thank you, as always, for spending your time with me, and let's continue enjoying life in the future. Before we wrap up, let me take a moment to introduce myself. I drive a Tesla Model Y, and at home, I've installed a Tesla Powerwall, so I actually charge my car with solar energy. I truly believe Tesla is shaping the future, and that's why I share the latest news and insights here on this channel. I'm from Japan, but I want to connect with Tesla fans all around the world. That's why I also create an English version of my videos. YouTube now lets you switch the audio into your own language, so you can enjoy it in whatever language you prefer. Most of all, I'd love to connect with Tesla fans everywhere so we can support Tesla together. I also share updates on X, so feel free to follow me there and let's connect. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.